Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Without Having Kicked a Ball. I am your host, as you will be getting used to now, Sam Taylor, and joining me tonight is the man whose channel this is on, Tube Mix, otherwise known as Will. Hello, buddy.
Hello, Sam. Hello, everybody. Yep, another week. It comes very quickly, and can't wait to get into the show.
Absolutely. It does come around very, very quick. As you guessed it, the treatment table is still full. So, Ben Carney and JLI Wheels, also known as Jordan, are both still on the treatment table. We hope they'll be back soon. Obviously, Jordan did a cameo.
He made a sort of surprise cameo. He did.
He did do a cameo, but we're not expecting a cameo tonight. Boo! But who knows? First of all, though, I will just check in. You're all right? Well, the thought of Jordan not being here, you feeling all right? Because you'll remember, everybody, at the end of the last episode, I was feeling unwell in the last episode, but I still managed to soldier through and really march through. But then all Will was bothered about was JLI Will. So are you gonna manage today, buddy? All right, yeah.
Oh yes, I'll be absolutely fine.
Not get any withdrawal symptoms. I wouldn't you?
No.
No. Right, we're all right then.
Yep.
Well, today's show, we are back with our 3 Premier League games, and we've got some crackers for you today. We also have managerial changes, and it's not changes to this channel, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to get rid of him. It is football managerial Premier League changes. And of course, we have the EFL Roundup, which we'll be going through again from the weekend's results.
Championship, League 1 and League 2, yeah.
From the Championship, League 1 and League 2, yes, as the Championship made its return like the Premier League after the international break.
Yeah.
Well, that leads us on nicely to our first game, talking of a break, because it was Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3 in the Premier League in the lunchtime game, the 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a 0-0 first half as under pressure manager Ange Postecoglou of Nottingham Forest team came storming out the traps and really put a beleaguered looking Chelsea side under pressure, but couldn't make a breakthrough after a hatful of chances in the first half. So the second half came, Chelsea made some changes.
Well, I think Goretzka made a triple substitution. I think I remember reading on the live text. So
he did. He made a triple substitution, and Chelsea came out a different side. And because Forest hadn't taken their chances, it was one-way traffic, really. Goals from the young centre half for Chelsea, Achimpong, in the 49th minute. Pedro Neto, no, not Cornetto, Pedro Neto scored in the 52nd minute before Captain Fantastic Reece James scored in the 84th minute to seal the win. The one blemish for the Blues was that another red card was given. That's the, I think, third red card in their last 4 Premier League
Yeah, they
games.
do seem to be having a bit of a problem.
Disciplinary problem, maybe.
Yes.
Malo Gusto, after 2 yellow cards, got sent off in the 87th minute, but it was not at the expense of his team, who ran out 3-0 winners at the City Ground. Somebody who was feeling the heat and the embarrassment, though, was under pressure, Ange Postecoglou. There was an image of the owner, the Nottingham Forest owner, Evangelos Marinakis, in his seat up till the 60th minute, and then he left. And we now know he went to write the statement of doom, because 29 minutes after the final whistle, yes, 29 minutes, if that, it may have even been 20 minutes
I must
after
admit,
the
it
final.
did shock me, the brutalness of it, the quickness of
After
it.
the final whistle, Postecoglou was no more, as he was sacked there and then. Firstly, just to quickly say, I don't think a manager should ever be sacked 29 minutes after a match. I think you have to
Yeah, it
have a
does seem a little bit brutal, really.
have a meeting with them, and maybe let the dust settle.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe later the next day, and then announce it on the Monday. But to do it, I think 20 minutes after the final whistle, we saw Postecoglou in front of a real empty City Ground, because they did pour out the home fans literally as the third goal went in from Reece James.
Yeah,
Um, they did pour out the stadium, so he clapped a very empty City Ground, and then apparently, according to Nico Williams and Morgan Gibbs White, sorry, not Nico Williams, Ryan Yates, the club captain,
yeah,
and the captain on the field, Gibbs White, that Postecoglou did go in the dressing rooms to say his disappointment, and then sometime afterwards, before he came out and it was interviewed by BT Sport, or TNT Sport as they know now, which never
yeah.
happened, he was sacked. So we know Marinakis does his things his own way, but your view on the game, and the fact that Andrew's once again on his holidays.
Well, I mean, we kind of knew it was coming, him getting the boot, but I was still quite shocked about how quick it was. Not even, the dust had hardly settled after the game. And, I see on the BBC Sport website, Ange Postecoglou sacked, and it's like, oh, blimey, wow. Yeah, so I was kind of expecting it, but also still kind of shocking at how quick it was. Uh, Forest played quite well in the first half, but didn't take their chances, and you've got to take your chances, otherwise, you are punished, and they were. Maresca obviously knew he had to change things around, and I mean, obviously, it's never nice for a player to go off at half time, especially to haul 3 players off. I mean, but obviously Chelsea, with the changes, got the work done, and gave Forest a good thrashing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me just pop my charger in. There we go. So yeah, it was. Excuse me. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but not a shock at the same time because we know what Marinakis is like.
Yeah.
He'd obviously seen enough after 60 minutes and then got his intermediaries or whoever to write the statement that
Yes.
was put on the club website. Either that or ChatGPT did it because it was that quick. Um,
Yeah.
but 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 yeah, just like Angie's reign, it was very very fast and
Yeah.
very brief. Um, yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. A manager like you said, Will being sacked 20 minutes after a match. I think that's poor
I
form.
can't
But
think of any. I'm just trying to think of past instances when a manager's been sacked literally not
after,
long after the game, and I
I
can't.
think Russell Martin last season had the same
Oh, right,
thing.
okay, yeah. At
Or a similar
Southampton.
thing. I think he did his press conference, but that was it. But
I mean, I do
yeah,
remember when Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup in 2016 for United. Not long after that, literally, Jose Mourinho, it was
yeah.
emerged that he
I
was
think
to.
it was like 2 days after that though that Van Gaal got sacked because they had the trophy parade first.
Ah, okay, right, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, it does happen, but very occasionally, that quickly. Um, But your view on giving a manager, I know it wasn't working for Ange, but giving a manager 30, I think he had 36 days in the job, and two of those weeks were international breaks.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he had 12 training sessions
Yes,
in
which is not a
charge.
lot, really.
So do you think you can hire a manager and then sack him that quickly just based on results
Uh,
or
well, I don't know. It's a difficult one because obviously, if results are really not going well, then obviously, that does put your position uh, in danger and untenable. But equally, Ange should have still been given. It's not long till Christmas. They should have still given him, until Christmas at least. And if things are bad come Christmas, then fair enough. Yeah, you got to get rid. But yeah,
if you've got a project, you've got to stick with it for a reasonable amount. And I don't think what was he in charge for 8 games, 5 Premier League games.
something like
It
that. I
was,
mean, he was just he. They had a graphic on Match of the Day, which was the shortest tenures of a club, and Frank de Boer was there at Crystal Palace. I mean, yeah. So, yeah,
yeah, it's so we had 5 Premier League games and three
not a lot.
games in other competitions, which I don't think is a proper sample size to go off.
Well, yes,
Um,
exactly. Yeah,
and he had two international breaks in the middle of that. The only thing you could say is that the owner has acted quickly and decisively, but he is Mr. Marinakis, our friend Evangelos, is a bit to blame for this. Has a lot of the blame to take because he sat Nuno when the fans loved Nuno. I know they fell out there, and him and
yeah,
Eddie.
exactly. I think Nuno. I don't think it was just about results with Nuno. I think Nuno was sacked for different reasons. I think.
Yeah, no, I think results are nearly tailed off slightly at the end of last season and missed out on the Champions League on the last day, ironically playing Chelsea.
Yeah,
But they had a brilliant season and overperformed and started the season well despite them being rumblings. They won 3-1, beat
yeah, yeah,
Brentford.
yeah, exactly.
Drew at Palace, so they had a win and a draw from the first 2 games. All right, they lost to West Ham then, and then Nuno went. But I think, I don't know what you think, Will, but to go from Nuno to and Postecoglou is a complete change
Yeah,
in style.
it's very jarring, and especially to the players if you're used to playing one style and then to,
Yeah.
completely change style. Then
In the
it takes
season,
time for players to get their heads round.
yeah,
So
I'm not saying they couldn't play that way, but in the season as well, he had no pre-season,
yeah,
nothing.
exactly.
Speaking of style, though, obviously Postecoglou wasn't there too long, so you imagine the players won't be that confused because a man with a similar style to that of Nuno, Sean Dyche,
Yeah,
has
former
been
youth player at
appointed.
Nottingham Forest as well. So yeah,
He has started his career at Forest
yeah.
because
So
he came through the youth
yeah,
system. So Sean Dyche is the Marinakis has rolled the dice back to a safe number.
yeah,
You think, and the number of dice came up. So
yes,
yeah, so Sean Dyche is the new manager of Nottingham Forest, of course. Synonymous mostly with
Burnley.
Burnley,
Yeah,
um, uh, with spells, with a spell at Everton as well.
yep.
Um, did have a spell, I'm pretty sure, at Watford as well,
Oh yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
years ago. So
But as
yeah,
we know,
so
Watford, it's like a carousel there.
it is. It is. Uh, I'm sure that's the way Ange Postecoglou is feeling right now. But you spin me right round, baby, right round. But yeah, your views on Sean Dyche and what it could mean for Forest and how they'll do well.
Well, with being similar style to Nuno, I imagine on paper he'll do quite well. But I said that Graham Potter would be a good fit for West Ham, and look how well that turned out. So I I don't know. On paper it looks good, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, really.
And I seem to remember you saying, maybe I'm wrong, last week that you thought Forest might go
Oh
down.
yes, yes I did, and
Are you still of that opinion, or
well, although Sean Dyche has generally saved clubs from relegation, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just save them from relegation, but yeah, they're not going to be far ahead, I think.
yeah? I think they'll be absolutely fine now. I actually think if, in a weird way, if they had made this appointment, say at Christmas time or after, the players would struggle more because they would have got used to Ange's way of playing, and it's not easy to go back
Ah,
always.
yeah, yeah, very valid.
But the fact that they've gone back so quickly, um,
Yes.
yeah, they should be okay. Yeah, I think they'll be absolutely fine. Interesting angle because one of the things that the fans struggled with Big Ange was they didn't think he got the club, and
No.
obviously they've gone for a legend of the club, and I think is it Steve Stone and there's another
Oh, don't know.
Steve
I've not heard of
Steve
him.
Woking or something like that. They're both club played for Nottingham Forest
Right.
uh, as well. Sean Dyche's trusted backroom staff,
Oh,
so
right. Okay. Yeah.
they've gone for more of a family affair. But will it be family fortunes at the end of the season? We will see because we
Yes.
know Marinakis is very in Nottingham Forest owner is very emotional. So yeah,
Short of
so
patience, really. Yeah.
steady appointment. probably very quick. And I think Forest. I mean, it's probably the most talented group of players he's had.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
Isn't it?
there's Zinchenko in there. There's Douglas Luiz. There's
Gibbs
yeah,
White, Murillo,
Elliot Anderson. Yeah.
Sells is a good goalie. Chris obviously knows Chris Wood
Oh
from
yes, yeah,
Burnley.
of course, yeah.
Burnley days, the Wood of the Forest. But and then you've got Hudson
Oh,
Odoi.
of course,
You,
yeah. Who's a brilliant player.
you've got Amari Hutchinson who can come in.
Yep, from
Uh,
Ipswich.
yeah, James McAtee, who they signed from Man City.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see with a more talented squad
Yes.
what Sean Dice can achieve.
Yes, I agree.
And you view on Chelsea, well, obviously an easy enough victory for them in the end.
Well, I mean, obviously, Maresca knew he had to make changes, and he made the changes, and yeah, it seems like he got them spot on. I mean, to haul three players, like I've already said, off at half time is, you've got to feel for those players. I mean, it's never nice coming off at half time, really.
Part of football,
Yeah.
well, at least he made his changes quickly and didn't hang about.
Yes, well, I think Maresca is quite good at that, isn't he? He's quite a ruthless manager. I mean, he's good at putting his arm around players, but equally, I feel like you wouldn't want to cross him. He stamps his authority.
Yeah, absolutely, and Chelsea, I think once they got over that Nottingham Forest initial crowd behind them, and once Forest had missed those chances, I think there was a certain. Once it got to half time and 0-0,
Yes.
I just knew Chelsea were going to win that game because I thought they're not going to
that
be as
Forest would be made to
poor.
pay for missing their chances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Chelsea aren't going to be as poor second half as
Yeah,
they were
absolutely.
first.
Yeah. Because
So,
you've got to take your chances in football, but otherwise you will get punished.
yeah, absolutely. Of course you do. Of course you do. Yeah, if you can't put them away, then you're gonna, always be susceptible to the other team coming back, especially when they've got the quality of Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a great team.
Yeah, and a young team as well.
Yes.
So, yes, changing times at the City Ground, but I think the fans will connect with Daesh quite well.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Played under Brian Clough, of course.
Oh, wow. Well, yes. Well, that's.
Well, he was the manager when he was there. I don't know how much he actually played in the first team, but
Oh, yeah. Well,
always
Brian Clough, obviously a massive manager at Forest. Won the European Cup with them. So, yeah.
twice,
Yes.
back to back European Cups.
Wow. Yes. So, yeah, Forest were a major giant in Europe in those days.
Absolutely. So big shoes to fill, no doubt.
Yes.
And not just big shoes in terms of Brian Clough, in terms of Nuno as well, because I think the fans had fallen in love with Nuno.
Yeah, and
So
Nuno's a very likable guy, isn't he? Really, as well.
yeah, I think he can be confrontational, but I think he's
So
very
could Marinakis, though.
well. Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much for his own good.
maybe it's a good job for Sean Dyche. He hasn't got too much hair because with Marinakis he might want to pull it
Yes, with
out.
all the stress. Yeah, we'll see if it's the Deitch time.
Yeah. Are we ready to move on?
Yes,
Anything
yes,
else
yep,
to
yep.
say?
Said everything about that one. So yeah, let's move on.
Right, we move on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now, and this may have not been on TV because of the 3 o'clock blackout rule, which I know Will loves.
Bollocks. People would still go to games anyway. Absolutely ridiculous.
But something that was certainly people that were there got their entertainment. It finished at Selhurst Park between High Flying Eagles, Crystal Palace, and the sweetest of cherries, Bournemouth. It finished 3-3. Now, Bournemouth came out the blocks absolutely flying at Selhurst Park.
Yeah,
Palace
it
haven't
looked like they were
lost.
going to thrash Palace at one point.
Yeah, Palace haven't lost there since February, but this looked to be the day that they were going to lose that record, just like they lost their 19-match unbeaten run in the last game week before the international break against Everton. That is because new star boy for Bournemouth, Croupy, put them in front on 7 minutes to give them a flyer, followed by a brilliant finish from uh, sorry, followed by another brilliant finish from Croupy in the 38th minute to put the Cherries in dreamland as Bournemouth took a 2-0 lead at one of the hardest places to visit, not only in the country right now, but in Europe. And that was his first start as well. So Croupy with 2 goals in the 7th
What a
and
debut. That's amazing.
38th minute, his full first match, first start. But as you'd expect, Palace weren't going to give up their record of
Nope.
not losing at home since February and go without a fight. As fresh off his France call-up during the international break, Jean-Philippe Mateta pulled one back in the 64th minute after a beautiful Daniel Munoz cross, arguably the best right wing-back in the Premier League. Was it going to be a consolation? You guessed it, it wasn't, as Mateta scored again 6 minutes 6 minutes later in the 69th minute. Actually, that's 5 minutes later. In the 60th, that was never my strong point. In the 69th minute to square the game at 2-2. It looked like Bournemouth had snatched it with wild scenes at the end as Ryan Christie blasted the Cherries back in front in the 89th minute before an astonishing finish. Added time, I think there was 9 minutes of added time.
Oh, yeah, that was
And
right. Yeah, crazy.
And Mark Gahey was wrestling with the Bournemouth defender. I think it may have been Diakite, and it looked like half of one, half of another. But the referee saw the Palace captain on the ground, and a penalty was awarded. And it was Jean-Philippe Mateta who stood over the ball and blasted it past goalkeeper
Took it
Georgie.
cool as you like, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Georgie Petrovic to make it a hat trick and to square the game at 3-3. But was the drama finished there? No, it wasn't, because Mateta burst through again and was given the ball on the penalty spot to surely win it for Palace. All he had to do was side foot it past a scrambling Petrovic, and he blazed it over the bar. Final score: Crystal Palace 3, AFC Bournemouth 3. What a game.
Yes, I mean, absolutely amazing. I mean, I was saying to Sam off air this, and maybe it's too early to say this, but certainly could be game of the season for me. Yeah, an all-time classic, I think, and yeah, two both really good teams in a very good moment, and yeah, it was certainly a very juicy clash.
And they got their yeah, great to see two managers, two great managers, up and coming managers. Certainly in Ariola's case, I know for Glasner he's won the Europa League, but two managers that are in charge of two what we'd call smaller clubs in the Premier League, with
Yeah.
all due respect. Doing fantastic jobs at their clubs. I know if
And they're
Bournemouth
still
had
quite
hold,
young as well.
yeah, certainly Areola is. I know that if Bournemouth had been able to hang on, they would have briefly gone top of the Premier League.
Yep.
Which for for a Bournemouth fan, a club that went out of it, was nearly relegated from the Football League entirely a few years ago, and nearly went out completely out of existence, is quite astonishing.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was only in 2008.
Oh
So
wow, blimey, yeah. Same
where
year
this club is,
Rangers were in trouble, weren't they? I think.
yeah, yeah. So to work their way up is it's amazing.
Amazing.
To the Premier League 7 years later under Eddie Howe, who did a brilliant
He
job and
did a
laid the
brilliant job there,
groundwork.
yeah.
Was eventually relegated after being promoted in the 2015-16 season. Of course, that is Leicester's year.
Yeah,
After
magical year.
after being promoted to the Premier League that season, they survived and stayed in until the 20. I think it was
18 to
the
19 season, maybe?
no, it was more than that. I think it was 2020, 2021
Right.
season. Yeah, so, or certainly 1920. I'll have to check that, but a long period of time, and then obviously came up and went down again. But Ariola's just taken them on to a whole new level.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant coach, yeah.
And you think we said it last week? Well, the players they've lost, they
Yeah,
lost
exactly. I mean,
three
they
of
lost
the back
Kirkes and
four.
the guy that went to PSG, Zabane. I don't know how you pronounce his
Yeah,
name.
the Barney, yeah.
Zabani, yeah. And yeah, yeah, they just
Halford,
seem to be picking up where they left off.
they look even better.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, they lost Kepper as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, because he went to Arsenal, yeah, because Kepa was on
So
loan there last season.
you could say four of their back five if you include the goalie
Oh
they
gosh,
lost.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Dean Howson as
Yeah,
well.
went to Real Madrid.
Yeah. I mean, even just that, Bournemouth doing business with Real Madrid and
which is
PSG for their players
pretty
is
amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
quite amazing. I always remember when Bournemouth signed Neto, the goalkeeper, a few years ago
Oh yeah, yeah,
from Barcelona, and Carve Solico, the chief reporter at Sky, one of the chief reporters at Sky, saying, uh, just think about it, Bournemouth doing business with Barcelona, amazing.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, but two managers that are flying, two teams that have been flying, and two managers that ultimately the fans of both clubs might be fearful of losing as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Arraiola was obviously before Thomas Frank was appointed the Tottenham manager. Arraiola was linked with that job, but he stayed put. And yeah, and it'll be interesting to see Glasner if he stays. Oh, by the way, we should mention Mark Gay has informed the club that he's not going to be signing a new contract and he's going to be leaving.
Yeah, either in January or, of course, he'll be a free agent next
Yeah,
summer.
Steve Parish
Um,
said they might have to sell him in January, but they don't know yet.
so yeah, watch the space. But to be fair, at least he's made his intentions clear. And with Mark Gahey, we've said it a million times that he will give everything.
Oh
So,
yeah, he's gonna give you 100%. I mean, yeah, he's just yeah, absolutely brilliant.
so I have no issue with him coming out and letting people know. You know what? I'm not going to sign a new deal. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
At
yeah,
least,
it's
at least the club know where they stand.
yeah,
So
exactly. It's the way you leave and the way he's leaving. That means he'll be welcomed back with open arms at Selhurst Park. In the future. So yeah, it's all about how you leave. Take a tip from that:
yeah.
Isak and Wissa.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, though, what happens with a lot of their Bournemouth and Palace players. You've got the likes of Antoine Semenyo
Yeah,
for
he's been
Bournemouth.
linked with a move. Yeah, to possibly United actually. Yeah,
And
they
he
could.
did sign a new contract with Bournemouth, but I think it does have a release clause in it, so we will see.
Yeah,
That's the rumour. So, yeah. We'll
yeah,
see. And Bournemouth have got other players, that are very Clivert and
yes. I could see
um,
Clivert maybe going. Yeah,
and again, if the defence keep it up, then they're gonna have other clubs interested, especially if clubs are not doing so well.
yeah, exactly.
Bigger clubs. Yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, but who's more desirable as a manager? Will, if you were if you were the head of I don't know, Man United or Real Madrid if things don't work out with Alonso or one of the big clubs,
Oh
Juventus,
yeah.
or who would you have higher up on the list, Ariola or Glasner?
Oh, I would probably say Glasner just because he's won the Europa League. Um, but
The FA Cup.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Not the Europa League, the FA Cup.
no, no, no. But he won the Europa League with Frankfurt, didn't he? You were saying.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I was
sorry.
just saying as a general thing, not what he's done with Palace, but just as a general thing. Um, yeah. So I think Glasner probably for me, but they're both very good, and I could see Ariola if he gets another job somewhere, continuing to do well as well. So yeah.
He's a little bit younger as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
Saying
yeah,
Glasner, not saying Glasner's on.
yeah, I'd take both of them really. So yeah, either a
Yeah,
good option.
yeah, I'm with you. I'd just take Glasner just based on his experience
Yes,
right now.
I mean,
But that's not to say Iriola isn't as good a manager. He's a far less experienced manager. So they're both ceilings are very very high. So
yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
yeah, yeah, and of course Palace and Bournemouth will be desperate to keep holding them as long as possible. There is talk that I'm not sure of Iriola's position, but I know he's got more than just a year left on his contract, where Glasner's got 9 months left. So
Yeah, his contract's up at
there,
the end of the season, Glasner's. So
there is talk of that. Of he's confirmed he's met with Steve Parish a couple of times to discuss, but that it has to be right for Palace. It has to be right for
for Glasner
Parish.
as well. Yeah, exactly. It's got to be right for the two parties. So yeah,
And if they can't agree, then they'll
then they'll
shake
just have to
hands.
shake hands and say thanks very much for your work and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But my advice to Bournemouth and Palace fans is just
Oh, exactly.
enjoy it,
Yeah, enjoy this moment, soak it in. Um,
because when you are a smaller club at the top level, you look at Leicester now back in the
and
Championship.
in fact, Forest are a
You,
good example. The way they've completely, done a
yeah,
360-degree turn.
yeah. So you got to be careful. So yeah,
Yeah, enjoy it, soak it in, and yeah. And wouldn't it be fantastic if Palace won the Conference League? Yeah.
wouldn't it be fantastic for Palace to win the Conference League and Bournemouth to qualify for Europe this season?
Oh yes, that'd be
Either
brilliant.
by either by the league or winning a cup.
Yeah. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
That's what we like. Football stories. We love the underdog,
Yeah,
and
I
we
mean
must
Palace
always
winning the FA
protect
Cup
them.
was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it reminded me of when Wigan won the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, that was 2013. Was that Roberto Martinez? Yeah.
Yeah, and they beat City on that occasion as well.
Oh wow, yeah.
Although, of course, it was
I
it
think it
was
was. It was in
either
Manuel Pellegrini's City, I think.
yeah, it was either. No, I think it might still have been Mancini's
Oh
City's
right, so it
City
was it, it
then.
was it was the two Robertos then.
Yeah, because I think he left after that game, Mancini.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Then they got Pellegrini in, and then obviously,
that's it.
yeah, they got
Because they
Pep.
won the league in 2012,
Yes,
and then he was there for another season, Mancini. So yeah,
right.
must have been. But yeah, Roberto took on Roberto.
Yep,
At least we know Roberto won.
yep.
um, Martinez, of course, who is now the coach of Portugal.
Oh yes, he is. Yeah, after being the coach of Belgium for
Yes, and
years.
Mancini is Mancini in a job currently?
No,
I'm not sure.
Mancini is not. In fact, he was linked with the Forest job. Funnily enough, going full
Uh,
circle. Yeah.
yeah, he was the manager of Italy for a while.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Um, won the Euros against England with Italy. Anyway, we digress. So two brilliant clubs, a great game, a great advert for the Premier League, and tempo, pace,
Yeah,
flair,
absolutely. Both
power.
teams just absolutely went through it. If you were in the stadium, you would have been, oh yeah, absolutely enjoying the entertainment.
That's why you pay your money.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Are you not entertained? As Ange Postecoglou said.
Oh well, yeah.
Right, so are we ready to move on?
Yep, definitely. I've said everything I want to say about this one.
So, our final game, in terms of our three picked ones, and then we'll go through the
Results.
rest of the Premier League results. Was the game at Anfield, and I tell you, we didn't pick this one just because it's these two teams. It was a brilliant game, so we thought we'd go for it. But at Anfield, where Liverpool were trying to rediscover their form after what was three defeats in a row in all
It was a
competitions.
bit of a blip beforehand.
And they took on a Manchester United side they would have fancied playing against at Anfield, despite the history between the two teams and also despite the Manchester United winning against Sunderland in the previous game week before the international break. But Liverpool's slump continued. The slot machine is not firing right now. It finished Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. Brian Mbeumo scoring one of the quickest goals I've seen for a long time.
What was it, like the 5th minute or something?
In the second minute.
Second minute? Oh, wow. Very quick then, yeah.
It was just over a minute on the clock.
Diallo was
before,
I think, yeah.
Yes, before Liverpool equalised in the 78th minute, as they had struggled, huffed and puffed all day, but Cody Gakpo forced the ball into the goal through the gap. That's what Gakpo does. So he got it through the gap, past the very impressive young goalkeeper for Manchester United, Semi Limons. But it was not finished there. A corner was whipped in, cleared half away before it was recycled. And who was there at the back post? Harry Maguire, the slabhead himself, hammering his slab at the ball and gaining Manchester United a priceless 3 points and a precious, rare win for any United side at Anfield. Final score, Liverpool 1, soul searching to do, Manchester United 2.
Well, I mean, what a game. And yeah, I mean, Liverpool, I think they do seem to be struggling to fit all their names and, not exactly, finding them in the right places. So yeah, I mean, maybe Isak needs to maybe be dropped and Akete to maybe come back in. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I think, to be fair, and I won't defend Isak very often. So, but from a footballing point of view, you can't really judge him yet because he missed so much.
Oh well, yes,
football.
exactly, yes.
And he's come into a struggling team seemingly. So,
yes,
yeah. Obviously, Liverpool are struggling right now. It's too early to say this for sure, but could Slot be a one-season wonder.
Well, like I said, it is too early, but it could maybe. I mean, let's not forget he was mainly last season with Klopp's players largely. This season he's bought his own players in like Frimpong, Wirtz, Kerkez, Isak, Ketier, um, yeah, and yeah, I, I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of a blip. They'll eventually all settle down, but I think
Yeah.
the problem is also that Slot is trying to fit all these players into one team, where sometimes
That doesn't always work. You need a
yeah,
balance.
exactly, and sometimes for example, Isak, maybe for the better of the team, should go on the bench maybe.
Till he finds his form again.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and Ketier, who has done brilliant. Probably one of the best new of the signings since he came in. And yeah, yeah. Um, and United, Harry Maguire getting a rare start as well because it's been ages, I think, since he's
Harry
started.
Maldini.
Yep. And so yeah, and obviously it was him again to the rescue as he's done quite a lot of times when he's come off the bench. And
Yeah.
yeah, obviously a really big win for United, and we wondered, was beating Sunderland because you never know. With all respect to Sunderland, they're a much smaller club, which on paper United would be expected to beat. But I mean, beating Liverpool is, really.
At Liverpool as well.
Yeah, exactly. Is a massive win, and yeah, dare I say it, maybe United may be finding their feet under Amorim. Maybe.
Well, it'll take me a while to believe that, but we're certainly in a good moment. And tactically, a lot's been said about Amarin 5 at the back and the players can't play it, but I thought tactically we outdid Liverpool. We defended in a low block, which you have to do at Anfield. You can't go gung-ho with the crowd and stuff because
Yeah,
Liverpool will just
exactly.
put you off. Also, they've got better players than us,
Yes.
so you've got to sit in there a bit, get through the first 20 minutes or so, and then see what you can do. But we scored after two, and
2 minutes. So yeah, that's
I couldn't less actually. It was in the second minute, but a lot was said about Maguire starting, but Amarin said he was in for his height, and
which he
um,
is, good at, isn't he? That's
what he could do in both boxes, both defensively and attackingly. Obviously, a lot was also said that Sesko, having scored a few goals for United recently and starting to find his feet, didn't start.
yes.
Um,
I was
and
surprised. I read through the live text. Sorry to interrupt you, Sam, but yeah, when I was reading the team news and Sesko was on the bench, I thought, oh right, that's yeah, that's interesting. I thought he would have started this one, but no, fair enough. And it was
but
Mason Mount who started centrally, which was an interesting choice.
yeah, well, it was more Cunha, to be honest. Mason Mount kind of
On the BBC Sport website, the graphic, Cunha was on the wing, I think, and Mount down the middle.
Yeah, they sort of interchanged. Mostly it was Cunha playing in that up front role.
Okay, right, fair enough then.
But yeah, and he did really well, as did Brian Mbuemo with a lovely finish past the commanding Alison Becker. And it was really good. He went for physicality.
No, I don't think it was Allison because I think he's still
Oh,
injured,
sorry,
isn't
it
he?
wasn't Alison. Of course it wasn't. It was Mami Dashvili. Thank you. Thank you, Will. Yes, Dashvili, who is a very good goalie. I saw him for Georgia in the Euros, was excellent.
Yeah.
So still a top quality goalie, and then Wormo just lifted it over him. And then obviously for Harry Maguire, just brilliant. We talked about Granit Xhaka last week,
Yeah.
and I can't, and how he resurrected his career at Arsenal after the fans had written him off. In a similar kind of way with Harry Maguire, not that he behaved in a bad way, but I think fans had had enough of him.
Although he
Um,
hasn't started much, has he, generally, recently?
No, but I think fans have done enough of him, and then he comes up in the Europa League and
Oh, yes, yes, it
scores
is
the,
true, yeah.
scores the winner to keep us in that, and goes past, was it Leon? So, and has scored some good goals, and it can always be counted on. So, yeah, he's kind of won his way back in. Um,
Yes.
to the fans' minds. So, yeah, good story for him because he's had a lot of stick.
Yes.
And he has, to be fair, we talk about character, and he has shown a lot of mental strength.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
to keep coming back. So, in a difficult time for the club. But Amarin really got his tactics spot on. I know he's still played, you know, it's a similar system, but with the five at the back.
Yeah.
But we seem to really contain them. And yes, Liverpool still had chances with Cody Gakpo hitting the post twice, I think, and missing one that he should have scored. As well as he was on target as well as Gakpo should have should have scored an easy goal as well.
Yeah.
So yes, Liverpool had chances, but I thought we thoroughly deserved the win.
Yes, and I think United played really well, and yeah, absolutely did deserve the win. Great team
Yeah,
performance. And Cunha and Mbeumo seem like, really good signings. You know, they're young, they've already played in the Premier League as well, so yeah.
yeah. I thought maybe after the Grimsby performance, the old United curse might come and get them, but they seem to be resisting it right now.
Yeah,
So let's hope that continues. Is Amarin still the right man for Alonso? He's got a lot to prove, and I'm not going to get carried away
yeah,
just because we've won 2 games. And we play better in the bigger games anyway, but it is back to back wins for the first time under Amarin, and an incredible stat here for you, Will.
oh, okay.
Obviously, obviously we have had the summer break,
Yes.
which has to be taken into account. But that's the first time Man United have won a Premier League away game for 7 months.
7 months. My God,
For,
amazing.
Man- for Manchester United have not won a Premier League away game for 7 months.
That tells you how far they've fallen, doesn't it?
That has to be a record for certainly in the last 70 years or so. But yeah, um, good signs. I'm not going to get again. We've seen it before. False
Yeah,
dawns where you think,
there's
oh,
good signs, and then yeah, they just
so
lose. So yeah,
though, do I think Amarin's the right man ultimately? No. Do have they dug in at least the last couple of weeks after a really difficult spell? Yes. So, yeah, we'll watch this space. As for Liverpool, um, for me, yeah, tricky time for them. Obviously, from a United fan perspective, I couldn't care less about them. But we're on this show to be fair, and taking my allegiance away to Man United for a second. Liverpool have really gone off the boil.
Yes.
I think they need to get back to basics. Kirkes looks like a rabbit in the headlights, so I think they need to take him out
Yeah,
of the
I
team.
think what they should have done, they should have started with Robertson this season and just gradually introduced Kirkes rather than throwing him in from the start.
Well, I get why they started him because he was so good at Bournemouth, and Robertson is getting older, but he hasn't played well. So,
No.
and there's no doubt he's going to be a really good player and is a good player. But just give him time, and especially in a game like against Man United, when the teams, it's different if you're playing poorly, but the team's still
Yeah,
winning
exactly.
because you can kind of allow him to make mistakes and bed in, knowing the team's probably still going to win
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
But they're struggling at the moment.
Yeah. I
Um,
think they're missing
so,
Alexander Arnold, I think.
so they should have probably put Robinson in with his experience as well
Oh,
in the big
yeah,
game.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, Alexander Arnold going forward, of course, is a miss. Defensively, probably not. But I do like Bradley, but again, he's young and they're struggling, and so it's up to the experienced players to get around them. I thought Canate was arguably the best player on the pitch. Despite Liverpool
Oh,
losing, he
what
made
for
some
the
brilliant.
United game? Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant defensively, Canate for Liverpool. Good job they had him there because I don't know what was up with Van Dijk. It was a bit like, because Canate's been struggling this
Yeah,
season, it was a bit like,
like he's transferred to Van Dijk.
yeah, like they swap places, like Van Dijk was in Canate's body, and Canate was in Van Dijk's body.
Yeah.
That's no disrespect because I like Canate. I think he's a good defender, but he struggled this year. But it was Virgil struggling,
Not like
and he
Van
needed.
Dijk to be off, is it really?
No, and he looked flustered after the first goal as well. He was pointing, I think, at Canate to come across him. Really, it was his man, and he sort of. There was a head injury with
Oh, that
McAllister
was right.
before
Yes, yes.
United's first goal in the build-up.
Yeah, in fact, there's a bit of controversy that the goal shouldn't have stood because of that. Yeah.
What's your view, Will? The ref says he didn't see it. He didn't realise that McAllister was on the ground.
Uh,
Uh, and presumably the assistants didn't as well. So if you don't see it, can you not give the goal when you if just
well,
because you don't see it? I don't
I
know.
suppose if you can't see it, then it's valid. But even as a refereeal assistant, it's quite weird to think that they didn't see, a clash of heads on the pitch. Really.
All the players'
Well,
reactions,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. I don't know how you
Especially
would
the
man.
Liverpool players who kind of half
Yeah,
stopped.
I don't know how you would manage to miss that. But yeah. Anyway,
So should have the goal stood?
well, if they didn't see it, then yes, I guess so. Yeah,
Just in case you're not clear on the rule as viewers, just if a player is injured and stays down, there's no problem. He can carry on playing
yes.
as the either team. But
But if a
if
player's
it's a
injured,
heading,
initially starts to get back up, I think that's.
no, even if he's lying on the ground,
Oh right. Oh
it's
okay.
fine. But if it's a head injury
Which the game has
and
to
the
be
ref
stopped
sees
for
that
that. Yeah.
he's holding his head, then the game should be stopped. But I can understand the ref not seeing it because he was sort of looking at the action going on in front as United broke away.
Yeah.
But but for the assistants not to see
Yeah,
it, who are looking,
how on earth did the assistants
who are
not see it?
looking across the pitch, I don't know how they didn't see it.
Yeah, crazy.
But anyway, the goal stood. And what I did find quite funny, even though of course you want McAllister to be okay, but yeah, of course, he had a head guard on while he was on the pitch,
Oh
and
right, so like Petr Cech had then that.
well, the commentator said, "Look, it's Peter Drury said, look, it's Petter. Petter's back."
Oh, that is quite
Petter's
funny.
Petter's playing outfield. Yeah, so I did find that amusing. It made me chuckle.
What are you doing? You better be getting back in your net. You better be waiting to catch the ball. Oh dear, that's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite funny. Did make me chuckle. Obviously, once I knew he was okay, because you never want to see people get injured like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, Petr Cech had a terrible skull injury, broke his skull. That's why he.
Yes, I believe so. I mean, I don't actually remember that when it happened, but
No,
yes.
but that's why he decided to wear the head thing because he felt safer.
Well, yes. I mean, it's yeah, probably a good idea, really.
Understandable, yeah. Yeah. Talking about players out of form, your views, and obviously it runs throughout the whole Liverpool team, but your views on somebody who's always dependable, a bit like Virgil van Dijk, and as a man who signed a new contract with Virgil van
Mohamed
Dijk, is
Salah.
Mohamed Salah, who seems to be really struggling at the minute. Yeah, he looks slow, he looks off it. Are we seeing Mohamed Salah's age catching up with him, or is it just a blip? What's your...
I don't know. It's hard to say when the whole team seemed to be struggling. Now, if the team was doing well but Salah was struggling himself, then you could maybe say, yeah, maybe it's his age starting to catch up. But I don't know. It's quite hard to tell when it's go all through the team really. So yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
I suppose we'll find out as the season goes on, and Liverpool, as you'd imagine, will pick up pretty quickly, and we'll see if Salah can reach those standards. But he does look devoid of confidence, and it's something that you never say about Mohamed
Well, yeah,
Salah.
which is bizarre because even when Liverpool, even when they hadn't won the league or the Champions League but finished in the top four, Salah was always delivering the goods. And at the time of recording this, Salah, Liverpool playing in the Champions League, Salah's on the bench for
Well, he
their
is.
match to
So,
match. Yeah,
it's like us taking him out of the team. Would you take him out of the team for a run of games, well, or just a couple, maybe, just to
yeah. I mean,
freshen him up?
it's difficult because he's such a good player. But yeah, if he's not playing well, then you've got to take him out of the team.
Maybe give Chiesa a chance.
Yes.
Who's scored some late goals when he's come
Yeah,
off
exactly. He
the
seems to
bench.
be a really good sub for them at the moment. So yeah, maybe take Salah for a couple of games out, and yeah, I don't know because you obviously he's a good player, but if a player's not playing well, no matter how good they are and no matter what they've done in the past, you can't. They're not immune from being removed from
No.
the team, and no player should be.
Nope, it's all about the present. What's in the past is the past.
Yes, exactly.
And what's in the future is in the future. It's about the here and now, especially these days for football managers who don't get much time.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a saying in football, of course, it's on to the next game and to try and improve. And Yeah, so
There's al- there's also and the manager. You're right. The manager's got a squad because he believes the squad's good enough. So
yes,
whoever comes in for Salah, I know they won't be prime Mohamed Salah, but you'd like to think they would be good enough to impact the
yeah, and
team.
maybe they would freshen up, bring some energy, and especially if it's Chisha who is quite young, isn't he? I think so. Yeah,
Who's that? Sorry, Will
Chisha.
Chiesa.
Okay, Chiesa. Oh, oh. Okay.
You're making your own player out to chat then. I didn't even. Normally I can tell if it's similar, but I was like, you just no, Federico
Oh,
Chiesa.
Chiesa. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Federico Chiesa.
Chiesa. Yeah,
We just lost
I
it. We
thought
just
we
lost
called
it.
him Chisa all these years. Oh dear.
We just lost another subscriber. Sorry, Federico. Um, on this channel that we're now down to the minus numbers, but there we go. Um, does yeah. So last question on Salah then.
Yes.
And Van Dijk is it's different for Van Dijk because he's playing very well apart from this game. But maybe Salah then. Is this the beginning of the end of Mo Salah as we know Mo Salah?
Um, it could be. Yeah. I mean, what's he now? 33, 34, something like that.
Yeah, something like 32 I think
32,
actually.
right? Okay. And he's had an amazing career at Liverpool. Scored plenty of goals. Won the Champions League.
One of the best ever players.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Won the Champions League, won the FA Cup, won two Premier League titles, League Cup. I think is Community Shield. I think he's won pretty much.
Yeah, he's won everything there is to
Yeah,
win.
exactly.
I think they won. I think they won the Club World Cup as well in its old
Yeah,
format. I know it's changed
I
now, but
think.
that,
Yeah, maybe there's a saying, leave and wanting more, and maybe Salah signing a new contract maybe wasn't the best idea. Maybe.
I mean, his numbers last season, he didn't look like he was going to drop off at
Oh, I
all, did
agree. I
he?
mean,
So
even when and
he arguably had his best season last year.
yeah, exactly. And when his contract situation was sort of in limbo, if you like, Salah was just playing with, well, what Mohamed Salah does really. So yeah, I don't know. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Really. Yeah, time will tell.
Yeah. And there's also, I know when Andy Murray was coming to the end of his career, and I'm not saying that Salah is, but people that know me know I'm a massive Andy Murray fan. Uh, when he was coming to the end of his career, and now when Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer and now Djokovic is starting to slip a little bit, although it's still right up there, but
Yes.
there was a in the video they did tribute they did for Andy Murray was that the we will all succumb to the one opponent we can't beat, and the one opponent he can't beat is time.
Ah, yes, which is so true. Yeah, and
You can kind of be timeless for a time, but eventually it will catch up with
yeah,
you.
exactly. And great players, unfortunately, time does catch up with them. Yeah,
As it does with people as well.
yes, exactly. Yes.
Life in general, in anything, is a bit like
Well,
that.
there you go. We've got some of his philosophy, folks. Yeah.
So, yeah. Right. Um, can United kick on now then? Well, there's the next question, or,
I
or is
think
it,
I
is it another false storm?
well we we will have to see because we've had full storms before, and then what do United do the next game? They go on a losing run again. So I don't know,
Crumble.
but I think with Lee Mums as the goalkeeper, I think the defence maybe feel a bit more confident around him, maybe,
Yeah,
and that
good point.
and that could be a big help. And also with Cunha and you know Mount start as well, and Benjamin Sesko as well, and yeah, I think perhaps maybe United could be on to a good thing potentially, but we will have to see.
I mean, they're not going to win the league
No,
or
no,
finish in the top.
they're not going to win the
Or,
league. They're not going to finish in the top four. I think the best they could hope for, but they probably won't do this, is finish in the Europa League places.
yeah, the Conference League. But it's all win a cup like we've done the last few years.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but but yeah, small shoots of recovery, maybe. But we will see. Just a quick word on Lehman's, as you mentioned him. It was his second game United start
Yeah, yeah,
in the
exactly. After
league,
having his debut against Sunderland.
and the reports I heard was that he did very well. They were calling him Peter Schmeichel-esque in that Sunderland game.
Yes,
I
yes,
didn't watch.
I read about
I
that.
didn't watch the game, and as a goalkeeper, if you're just watching the highlights, unless he has lots to do, you're never quite sure because it's the small details. But the small details of what he had to do, yes, he conceded a goal, which he could do nothing about, but the small details of coming out, claiming the ball from crosses, catching it, um, saving, made a couple of great saves, was quick off his
Yeah,
line, was quick. One of the problems with Onana was that
he was so
he struggled
nervous,
to
wasn't he?
dive. Like he would go down a bit, like almost like he was too top heavy. If you like, he couldn't get the lift off in his feet to push down to meet the ball.
Yes, yeah,
So
absolutely.
to dive
Yes.
um, for lower balls, but now Lehman's looked really good at that, and it's very very early days, so we don't want to put
Oh no,
pressure
absolutely.
on the young
And
man.
to the media, don't call him the next Peter Schmeichel. You don't help players by
Well,
comparing
it was
him.
the fans. It was the
Oh, was
fans
it?
that were
Oh, okay.
singing that.
Not the press. That makes a change because usually it's the media that's hyping up.
I think the media caught on from what the fans are saying, but
Ah, okay, fair
yeah,
enough then. But yeah,
um,
let's not
good
put too
start.
much pressure on him. And yeah, but it's good early days. Yeah.
And there won't be anywhere tougher he has to go than Anfield. To go to Anfield in your second game as a United
Well,
player,
exactly.
young
Thrown in the
player,
deep
as a
end,
goalie,
wasn't he? Really?
and he looks like a guy who's calm and can handle it. But sure, he'll have his ups and downs as all young players do. But early signs are promising, very promising.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Are we ready to move
Yep.
on, or
Yep.
is there
Absolutely.
anything?
Yep. There's nothing more I want to say about this game. So yep. Let's move on.
Lovely, lovely. I do hope you enjoy being back to the original format, everybody. I just want to take this opportunity to say if you do want to get involved in any of our discussions or just talk to us about football or life in general, it doesn't have to be about football. If you want to come on and have a chat, leave. I know this is pre-recorded, but leave your comments in the episode, and we will come back to them and yeah, discuss more of the things that you want because you are the important
Yeah. Exactly.
people. You are the um the viewers. Right now, you're viewing my hand because I've got to put the charger back in. keeps falling out, so I do apologise. Right, let me go back and we will discuss. We will go through the scores of the other Premier League matches. So, let me just go back up a little bit.
And I don't think we don't need to do the ones that we talked about for the free featured games.
No, I'll just run through them anyway.
Okay, all right, yeah.
It finished Nottingham Forest 0 in case you missed it. Chelsea 3 and the end for Ange Postecoglou, new man in situ. Well, a new old face because he started his career at Forest. Sean Dyche is in there. The next game on our list is Sunderland 2, Wolves 0, a big victory
Big win
for Sunderland, who continued an excellent start to the season.
What's going on at
And
Wolves, after Vitor Pereira when he came in, last season. Brilliant, and then it all seems to be going wrong for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was Maluki, I think that's how you say it, who put Sunderland ahead on 16 minutes, and Krejci, who scored an own goal for Wolves in the 92nd minute to give Sunderland a 2-0 victory at the Stadium of Light. Great performance, don't it? The fullbacks scored there and a great goal. So, good to see Sunderland playing so attacking on their return to the Premier League after so long away. And we talk about teams dropping down, they really did, down to League One, but are back up and running now. So from the Stadium of Light, we go to Turf Moor. And speaking of Dyche, a place that he is adored. They even have the Dyche pub in Burnley.
That's brilliant.
In recognition of Sean, it finished Burnley 2, Leeds 0 in the battle of two of the newly promoted sides. Leslie Ugachukwu scoring a brilliant goal, a brilliant header, I think it was, from miles out. Before Tuna, don't think I've said that right, but I've done my best, scored in the 68th minute in a game that Leeds apparently dominated, but Burnley came away with the points. Were you going to say something there, Will?
Yeah, no, sorry.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
No.
That's okay. So, Turf Moor, that now moves Burnley out of the relegation zone. So, good for them. Right, let me just see where we're at. So every time I go off it, you see it. Here we go. As we've talked about, Will's game of the season, Crystal Palace 3, Bournemouth 3. It was one of our featured games. Probably game-wise, the best game of the season, and will certainly be a Premier League classic. Croupy putting Bournemouth 2-0 up on his first start. Premier League full debut for Bournemouth. Excuse me. Before Jean-Philippe Mateta scored to equalise. Before, in the 89th minute, Ryan Christie looked like he'd won it for Bournemouth to put them top of the league for at least a short time anyway. But it wasn't to be, as a penalty was given and Mark Gahey was brought down, or judged to have been held in the box by Diakate. Before Philippe Mateta stepped up and scored. Philippe Mateta then had another chance that was the easiest all day and blasted it over the bar. 3-3 at Selhurst Park. Off to the Amex we go, where Brighton, who quietly are going about their business, played Newcastle, and it was Brighton, who at home are very good, generally getting the win here. Danny Welbeck, there's a name from the past, Man United former player, of course, an Arsenal player, and Watford, yeah. And has been in Brighton for a while now. Still only 34. I thought he was older than that, but he seems to have been around forever. Good to see as well, because he had a lot of injuries midway through his career, and I thought that might stunt him from carrying on later, but he's really seems still in really good shape. He scored in the 41st minute for Brighton before a brilliant cheeky little flick from Nick Voldemar, a player. We talk about players starting well at new clubs. He's certainly been one of them. Alexander, who the Newcastle fans are saying, in reference to Alexander Isak, who of course left very controversially in the fans' eyes to Liverpool, but Nick Voldemar has come in and been absolutely brilliant, and with this cheeky little finish flick, he is quickly becoming a fan's favourite. But a goal that was worthy of winning at any game was only an equaliser, and it didn't last for too long, because in the 84th minute, Welbeck was through again and scored again. 2 for Danny and 2 for the Seagulls, beating Newcastle by 2 goals. Sorry?
The Seagulls beating the Magpies.
Yeah, in the Battle of the Birds. So we carry on. We do. And it is that. It is very, very, very good to see Brighton doing well. They're always a tough team to face. Sorry, guys. Same old problem as usual. Just bear with me. Right. We then move on to Manchester City v Everton, where and Everton played well, and were without Jack Grealish, of course, who couldn't play because he was on loan from his parent club, Manchester City. But it was the striking Viking, the striking English Viking in Erling Haaland, who did the damage.
He's the Norwegian Viking, isn't he?
Yeah. Is that not what I said?
No,
Sorry.
you said English.
Yeah, I know. I said,
technically he is both, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so but he scored 2 goals to keep an incredible scoring record going. His 2 goals were enough to win it in the 58th and 63rd minutes, respectively. Quite extraordinary stats from Erling
I mean, you were saying,
Haaland
sorry to
there.
interrupt you, Salah's out of form. Haaland certainly isn't.
No, he can't stop scoring. He literally can't stop. Yeah, and it's a nightmare for any defence in the way at the minute. Do, do, do. Oh, hang on, having a malfunction here. Malfunction. Technology people. Hang on. I will sort it. So we then move on to hang on, having a nightmare here. We now move on to Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2. On the Sunday, it was Rodrigo Bentancur who put Tottenham ahead
Minute, I
after
think.
5 minutes. Before Villa staged a comeback to make it 3 wins on the bounce, I think it is. Morgan Rogers and the forgotten man. Morgan Rogers were brilliant strike. It seemed to have nowhere to go and struck it from about 25 yards out and hammered it in to equalise in the 37th minute before Emi Buendia, the forgotten man, scored another great solo goal to give the Villains a much needed victory and continue their good form and resurgence under Unai Emery. Good to see Villa doing well, and they do have a big week in Europe this week as momentum seems to be building very, very well at Villa Park. A game I did miss out because of a malfunction, so I do apologise to Fulham and Arsenal fans, but we'll do that one now. It finished another tight game for Fulham, but another loss. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. The goal coming from Leandro Trossard in the 58th minute to keep Arsenal well and truly on top of the Premier
That could be a
League
big win for
table.
Arsenal because I believe Fulham is one of the teams that they've struggled against.
Yeah, I think they've lost there on the last two visits to Craven
Well,
Cottage.
they've beaten
So
Newcastle, they've beaten Fulham, both teams that they struggled with last season. So actually, yeah, I do.
they struggled with small teams. Yeah, they weren't brilliant, but they've found a
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
And that's what you need to do if you want to win the league. As we talked about, one of our feature games, Manchester Divided turned into Manchester United finally after a sensational 2-1 win away at Anfield against a below par Liverpool, but all the same, I'll take it. Brian Mbeumo scoring in the second minute before Cody Gakpo had seen to rescue a point in the 78th minute. But then a corner came in, was half cleared away, and was recycled. And who was there at the back post? You guessed it. Good old slabhead Harry Maguire scoring in the 84th minute to give the Red Devils a rare victory at Anfield at any time. especially at the minute. But yeah, fantastic win for Ruben Amorim and the boys. So we keep going down to the next game, and from Anfield, we then move on to Monday Night Football. And I have to say, it's a very disgruntled London stadium where West Ham, who were in desperate need of a win, took on Brentford in a London derby. Well, West Ham played well for 10 minutes and were then terrible for the rest of the game. One of the worst Premier League performances I've ever
Oh
seen.
my God, were they
Brentford
that
could
bad?
have
I didn't see the game.
no, Brentford could have scored 7 or 8.
My God, wow.
Um, maybe more. It was just devoid of anything. Yeah, they don't look in a good place, but it was only 2-0 at the end, and the scoreline does not reflect the game anyway. It was Thiago who's been like a new signing this season after spending all last season injured for Brentford. He scored in the 43rd minute after about his 50th attempt because
Oh,
they
blimey,
just
did he have
couldn't
loads
quite.
of attempts, did he?
Yeah, some good ones as well, but they from corners and throw-ins, West Ham couldn't handle them, and they just kept hitting the post or just wide. It was amazing how many times it took, and it looked like it was going to finish 1-0. And you thought West Ham can't come back, and then on the break and get something as well. It's only 1-0, as bad as they were. They're still in the game, but no, Mateus Jensen honours a substitute, put the finishing touches on a dominant display from the Bees, who stung their opponents. Um, a goal from Jensen in the 95th minute. So, and London Stadium was half empty as fans protested from the start, as fans protested against uh, against the West Ham board. So a lot to do there. Very unhappy Hammers.
Yes, yeah.
So we go to the championship, which of course was back last last weekend. Are you happy to carry on,
Yeah, yeah,
Will? And
that's
I'll go
fine.
for the
Yeah.
championship results. Yeah, cool. Just bear with me because I have to go through make sure they are the right game
Oh,
week.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's been some this midweek. Saturday, 18th of October. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Friday the 17th of October, the championship returned with Middlesbrough, who were flying high at the top of the table, or towards the top of the table anyway, against Ipswich. And it was Middlesbrough who got their win, another win this season with a 2-1 victory over Kieran McKenna's
It'd be
side.
great to see Borough
Uh,
back
uh,
in the Premier League.
yes, Rob Edwards as well leading
Oh, yeah, of
Borough.
course,
I
yeah.
do.
Oh, by the way, how are Ipswich doing in the Championship?
Um, they're just above mid-table, I
Oh, right,
think. I will
okay.
just check that in a minute. Um, Southampton, another relegated side, played Swansea City, formerly of the Premier League, of course, and that ended in a 0-0 draw at St
Oh,
Mary's. Oxford, enjoying their second straight season in the Championship, beat struggling Derby County 1-0. QPR in a London derby, played Millwall at home and lost 2-1. It finished in a great game, Birmingham 2, Hull 3 at St Andrews.
What an amazing game that was.
I think that's the first time Birmingham have been beaten in a year or over a year at home in the
That's
league.
pretty
If
impressive.
you count, obviously, League One in that as well. Another team who came up and feature here, but at the Bit 365 Stadium, or as I like to call it, the Britannia Stadium still, Stoke City beat Wrexham 1-0 for a much needed win to stay with the pack. Charlton Athletic played a spirited Sheffield Wednesday, who are having terrible problems with their ownership.
Danny Roll
2-1.
Danny
Sorry?
Roll obviously, left.
Yeah, and some players left. Players have now not been paid for 4 or 5 months, I believe. A lot of them in the staff. Anyway, sorry?
Absolute shit show there.
Yeah, the quicker the guy sells the club, the better. Charlton Athletic were 2-1 winners against the spirited Sheffield Wednesday, who did have a man sent off. Javi Grazia, I'm sure Jordan will go through all these new manager changes, but Javi Grazia took charge of his first game at Watford. Did you know that Will, he was back?
Yes, I did know that, yes.
Yeah. But he took on Sheffield United at Bramall Lane in their old new manager, who's been about 15 times, Chris Wilder, and it was Chris Wilder's Sheffield United who won 1-0 in this one. Norwich's Liam Manning, the manager of Norwich, continues to struggle. I think they lost something like a 6th home league game in a row at Carrow Road, as Bristol City, the away team, beat Norwich 1-0, so it finished Norwich City 0, Bristol City 1. A scoreline that will make Jordan happy, and I say that with a smile on my face because I think I might eat my words at the end of the season. Coventry City, who I think are still unbeaten, if I'm not mistaken, in the Championship, beat Blackburn Rovers 2-0 to continue their great form under Frank Lampard.
He's doing well then.
Yes, he is, and another manager who has connections to Chelsea for the wrong reasons, of course, had a horrific injury against Chelsea in his Hull days, is Ryan Mason, and his West Brom team beat Preston at the Hawthorns 2-1. Leicester City and Portsmouth. Portsmouth, again, a bit like Oxford, having their second straight season in the Championship, and it doesn't look like teams have worked them out because they're doing okay. The second season curse, and that finished Leicester City 1, Portsmouth 1. Right. Moving on, shall we, to League One?
Yep.
Here we go again. Let me just get the scores on the League One. Yeah, it's going to be a good championship season. It's always tight, but we will see what happens. Saturday, 18th of October, that's the one. Right, let me just make sure. Saturday, 18th. Does that start? Oh no, that's part of the same match week. So okay, we start on Thursday, the 16th of October, so nearly a week ago, where
My God.
Huddersfield took on Bolton at the Kirklees Stadium now?
Oh, I've lost track because obviously it used to be the Macron Stadium and then it was the Reebok Stadium. So yeah.
No, it's at Huddersfield.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It used to be the John
John Smith
something.
Stadium.
Yeah, John. Yeah, but anyway.
Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
so Huddersfield lost at home to Bolton 2-1. Then we move on to the normal regular Saturday. Bit weird that they put that one on a Thursday. Maybe it was one left over. Burton Albion lost to Peterborough United 1-0. A big win for Darren Ferguson's side, of course, son of Alex Ferguson. Then Lincoln City beat Stevenage 1-0. Bradford and Barnsley played out a great game to a 2-2 draw there.
Oh, okay.
Blackpool and
They've appointed Ian Ewart, not sure if I pronounced his name right, former Bolton manager, to replace Steve Bruce.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very good. Where was I up to? Yes, Blackpool 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Rotherham United played at home to Leyton Orient, and Rotherham United won 1-0. Jack Wiltshire, who is the story of the EFL in the minute, he's the manager now of Luton Town, and is very highly thought of. I'm sure Jordan will have more of that to say when he comes back and does an EFL special.
Yep.
They lost at home at 2-0 to Mansfield, though, who were the party poopers for the day. Cardiff City beat Reading 2-1 in Cardiff. Plymouth Argyle, who were in the Championship last year but been struggling, were beaten 2-1 at home by AFC Wimbledon. Wigan Athletic had a man sent off, but delightfully was still able to beat the Scum, Port Vale 1-0. Stockport County continued their good start to the season. They're well managed now, and they won 1-0. Doncaster they won 1-0. Stockport against Exeter. Doncaster lost at home 2-1 to Northampton Town, and that completes your EFL roundup from the weekend
hang on.
League One.
Yeah.
I was gonna say League One. You jumped ahead of me there, Will. League Two. I did nearly say that complete your EFL roundup, and then I was correcting myself. Tell you what, I need a lozenger after this. Me throat. Anyway, right. I know Will's a hard taskmaster, so he's like, crack on. We know he doesn't care about me, so that's fine. I'm just a number. I may as well be in the prison system, just a number for Will. Anyway, on Saturday the 18th of October, That was last Saturday. Salford City got back to winning ways under Carl Robinson, winning 1-0 at the Peninsula Stadium against Oldham Athletic, who are newly promoted as well, of course. Cambridge United beat Bromley Town 2-1. At Stadium NK.
It'll be Crawley Town, won't it?
At Stadium NK, MK Dons, who are now second in League Two after this win, beat Crewe Alexandra at 3-1.
Oh, I actually thought it'd be a Crawley result given you groaning, but okay, no, fair enough.
Because we lost again. Anyway. Yes. See, laughing at my misfortune again. So Chesterfield and Fleetwood Town. Is it Chesterfield United? No, or are they just Chesterfield? I don't know. They drew with Fleetwood Town 1-1. Shrewsbury, depending on which side of the river you are on. The River Severn, don't like to cause an issue with our Shrewsbury friends. They beat Crawley Town. Way! We also had a man sent off that sent them crawling. Shrewsbury beat them 1-0. Gillingham. Grimsby Town beat Gillingham 1-0, and Gillingham had a man sent off. Led, of course, Grimsby by former Alex manager David Artell. Newport County lost to Cheltenham Town 2-0. Barnet lost to Notts County 1-0 at home. Accrington continued their recent good form, Accrington Stanley beating Swindon Town 4-0. Swindon also had a man sent off in that game. Another team struggling at home, though, was Bristol Rovers. They lost 4-1 at home to Mike Dean's Tranmere Rovers 4-1. Walsall lost surprisingly at home 2-1 to Barrow, who also had a man sent off but managed to hang on and win the game. Colchester beat Harrogate Town 3-1. And that completes your EFL results and a roundup of last weekend. So that is done and dusted. Shall I bring us home?
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
No insults to say, no?
Nope.
This time, no, forgetting me, I see, okay. Well, firstly, are you alright, Will? Did you manage to get through that with your withdrawal symptoms for Jordan?
Yeah, I did have any with Jordan symptoms, so yeah.
But you're going to have to take a load of tablets now.
Oh my god.
The pharmacy will be opening, ladies and gentlemen. The pharmacy will be open once we get off air. Don't worry, you dearly beloved will be back very soon. Me and Ben are just numbers. We know that Jordan's the star in your eyes. Anyway, speaking of numbers, my number's up because I'm ready for bed. So, that will be all for today from us. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Tube Mix YouTube channel. Don't know why you bother, to be honest, because he just slates his host. But there you go. But if you fancy it, give us a watch. And that will be all without having kicked the ball. Thank you, Will, for your time, and we'll see you again next time.
Yep, see you.
Bye bye.
Bye.